Well, we plotted. It was a viral. It was a sort of the viral marketing started in October. We launched October 22nd, '99, with 24 people in the office, sending emails to other people. And the first month or two was slow. We were up to 1,000 by mid-November, 12,000 by the end of December of '99. It grew by about 5 to 7% compounding daily. It was 100,000 by February 2nd of 2000, and about 1 million by mid-April. And the eBay subset was growing even faster. It was compounding at about 7 to 10% a day. So yeah, it definitely was growing extraordinarily fast. The slightly worrisome component to me as CEO, and even more so to our CFO, who used to work at Silicon Valley Bank, which was sort of a very traditional bank, was that with the exponential customer growth, there was an exponential growth in expenses because they were all costing $20. So you could plot the exponential curve of the customer growth, and one could also plot the burn rate, which was growing exponentially as well. By early March of 2000, and we had raised some more venture capital money. We had $15 million in the bank, which is a decent, respectable amount. But the burn rate of this, there were no revenues, and of course no profits. But the burn rate was running at about 10 million a month. When you sort of plotted out, the whole thing was going to blow up in 6 weeks. We had various company meetings with the engineers, and it's like, well, we need to take over the world. We can't slow down now.
Yeah, it was getting a little tense. So we basically just figured we have to raise more money. Last thing you want to do is stop the kind of machine we were building.
The timing in March 2000 was rather auspicious on that score.
Yes. So one of the things that occurred at the time, we merged with our largest competitor, X.com, which there's still some rumors about who came up with what idea first, but we claim we were there certainly first. And it was a 50-50 merger of equals, which made a lot of things more palatable than not. And both companies were basically growing exponentially at that point. Both companies were pretty close to running out of money.
We're 4 blocks down the street from each other on University Avenue.
Yeah, it was quite the Mexican standoff.
It was like a classic insane competition situation.
Yeah, one of the engineers was actually telling me after a few weeks of sleep deprivation that the easiest way to dispense with our competitors down the block is to build a bomb, and we'll take care of them. We got slightly insane over the competition with those guys because, like, for example, my favorite. Or not my favorite at the time anyway, Latin saying was memento mori, which stands for be mindful of death. And I had it printed out in gigantic letters on my wall with the X.com logo underneath.
But people had never, it was amazing from a mass psychology perspective how hard people worked. I mean, there was no other context where people worked around the clock like that. And it was like, yes, they're getting ready to destroy us. They're 4 blocks down the street in University Avenue. That's where the enemy is. And but it turned out, we combined the 2 companies in early March, and then we frantically tried to raise some money. And March 2000 was, was actually a good time to do this. I remember thinking to myself that it felt like things couldn't get much crazier, and we really had to close the money quickly because the window might not last forever. There was one day I was in Korea, and to give you a little bit of the flavor, there was one set of investors. There was a university professor who concluded that the way he was going to become a multimillionaire was to spy on internet businesses from America and copy their business models and implement them in Korea. And so he was hiding behind the bush in the hotel lobby to spy on us. Unfortunately, the bush was in the way, and so he couldn't hear properly what we were saying, and decided to shamelessly just pull up the chair right next to us and listen in on us. A third group of investors took me to the airport and decided that they were going to pitch, and they were all pitching me on why I should take their money as opposed to somebody else's. This was the basic theme, and they were going to pitch me on why I should take their money. And we were wandering into the airport, and I was buying the plane ticket back to the U.S. And we were leading this revolutionary new payments company that's going to change the whole future of payments in the world. And then I was trying to buy my plane ticket, and my credit card didn't work. I think it was probably maxed out or something. But under normal circumstances, that would have been a little bit worrisome. They were excited beyond belief. They bought me a first-class plane ticket on the spot. The next day, they called up our law firm, asked, what's the bank account we need to send the money to? No paperwork was signed. I could have given them a bank account. Switzerland, I don't know. They wired in $5 million, showed up the next day. And so, but all of this reconfirmed my sense that it was imperative to move very quickly. We closed on $100 million on Friday, March 31st. It was the following Monday the market basically collapsed. So and that did give us a lot of cushion to actually figure out how to make the business work.